How to plan a photo of the partial lunar eclipse of October 28, 2023, step by step. Hello, PhotoPiller, Rafael about here. Great news, because in a few days, on October 28th, there will be a stunning partial lunar eclipse. So jot down the date, because you can't miss it. The Earth will move between the Sun and the Moon, covering the Sun's rays and casting its strong shadow, the umbra, on some parts of the Moon. As the lunar eclipse advances, you'll see the Moon disappear more and more under the Earth's shadow. But the shadow will not cover completely the Moon disk. Because remember, it's a partial lunar eclipse, it's not a total lunar eclipse. Well, long story short, if you wish to photograph this amazing phenomenon, the first thing you need to do is to figure out where on Earth the partial eclipse will be visible. Okay, let's start planning the lunar eclipse. Go to PhotoPills, as always, tap on Planner, and now tap on the Map Settings button on the map next to the plus, and go to the Eclipse layer, tap on Eclipse to access the calendar of all the lunar and solar eclipses. And here today I'm planning the partial lunar eclipse of October 28th, 2023. This one, awesome, tap on it and go back to the map. And now notice that the time bar has been set to October 28th, 2023, the date of the eclipse. Now zoom out a little bit to see where the eclipse is visible and where it's not visible, awesome, and also swipe up the top panel to the left until you get to the eclipse panel, this eclipse panel that's showing you when each phase of the eclipse will occur. And as you see, the top panel is telling me that the lunar eclipse will be visible in Menorca, where I have the red pin now. On the map, you see the areas where the eclipse will not be visible. For example, here in the United States and the Americas, the eclipse won't be visible, unfortunately. So where it is visible? Well, it's visible in Europe, Africa, also at moonrise, parts of Brazil, Canada, Europe, Iceland, Africa, Asia, and it's visible at moonset also in Australia, and it's not visible in New Zealand and most of the United States. Okay, now that you know where on Earth the eclipse will be visible, let's see when each phase of the eclipse occurs based on the red pin position. Let's go. So imagine that you want to photograph the eclipse in Menorca, that you are on holidays on our beautiful island. So the first thing you need to do is to place the red pin on Menorca. You know that you can just tap on log here at the bottom and type the name of any place, and the red pin will be placed on that place. So in this case, I already have my red pin on the island. Now the top panel is telling me the eclipse phases times for the red pin position for Menorca. So the penumbral eclipse begins. Penumbral eclipse is when the penumbra, the lightest shadow of Earth, starts to go on the Moon. At 8:02 p.m. at 9:36 p.m. is when the umbra starts going on the Moon. At 10:15 p.m. is when the eclipse is maximum, is when the most part of the Moon is covered during this eclipse. At 10:53 p.m. the partial eclipse ends, and at 12:27 a.m. the penumbral eclipse ends. And one cool tip, if you do a long press on the time on the top panel, the time will be set on the time bar. And also, as you see, when you change the time, also the picture you see on the top panel changes. So you can always swipe the time bar and see how the eclipse evolves. And in this case, you notice that in Menorca, the umbra barely covers the Moon surface. So the part that's covered by the umbra is going to be pretty small during this eclipse in Menorca. And once you set the time or the phase you want to photograph on the map, this blue line that's moving is telling you where the Moon is going to be, so you know where the eclipse is going to occur at all time, so you can plan your shot. Also, you can always use the AR button if you are at the red pin position. You tap on AR and you can visualize how high the eclipse will occur in the sky. In Menorca, you see that the eclipse will occur pretty high in the sky, so I think it's a great location to just photograph the phase of the eclipse without foreground. Okay, with this information, I think that we are able to plan our lunar eclipse shot. Let's do it. If you wish to photograph just the faces of the eclipse without foreground, you need to choose an open space where nothing is blocking your Moon. For example, I could go to Pinnebecker here, and well, I have nothing blocking my view. Oh, where are you? Here, of the Moon. so I can see the moon clearly, because the moon is this line I told you. When I change the time bar, you have the moon here, so you know at all time where the moon is. So I think this is a good spot to photograph the moon. The moon is going to be pretty high in the sky, so I could shoot it from all over the place on the island. Okay, now just choose the phase of the eclipse you want to start shooting. For example, at 9:36, double press on 9:36 on the top panel, and 9:36, well, it's 35 because it's not rounded, has been set to the time bar. And on the map you have the azimuth line of the moon, this blue line here showing you where the moon is gonna occur, so you know where to frame. And again, also, if you tap on the AR button when you are at the raping position, you'll be able to visualize where the moon is, where the eclipse is happening. And once again, remember that you can swipe time bar to see where the eclipse, how the eclipse evolves, and where the eclipse will occur at all time. And if you are on a location where the eclipse occurs when it's low in the sky, and this occurs in the areas where the eclipse is visible at moonrise and at moonset, I think it's a good idea to align it with an interesting subject, align the moon, the eclipse with an interesting subject. Like for example, in this photo that Antonio Coletta took in Menorca. Antonio Coletta, the photographer of the PhotoPills team. And if you should learn how to plan this kind of photos where you see the moon aligned with an interesting subject, watch this video. Another option is to use a telephoto lens to photograph all the faces of the eclipse, and then use another camera with wide-angle lens to photograph the landscape, and then build a composite image, putting together all the big moons or big eclipses on the path of the lunar eclipse that you captured on the wide-angle lens shot. Like for example, Jose Antonio Arbaz did in this photo that was featured by NASA. The possibilities are endless. Well, this video is about planning your photo of the coming partial lunar eclipse. Next Wednesday, I'm gonna release a video on how to photograph the lunar eclipse. Don't miss it. Also, if you wish to learn more how to photograph the lunar eclipse, this partial lunar eclipse, or any other lunar eclipse, I invite you to download our super detailed lunar eclipse photography guide. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of this video and the first comment below. Download it. And if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember, I have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos. Bye!